This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. Love it when we get an expert on here. And I'm giving her that title because there's nobody on this planet that I've come across that knows more about aromatherapy and natural body products than our next guest. She's been doing this for 30 plus years, if my math is correct. Today, we're going to talk about the distillation and the process involved in aromatherapy products. Kathleen Flanagan is with us. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Steve. How are you doing?
Real good. Real good. I always learn every time you're here. And I'm thinking distillation is going to apply to when the oil is extracted from a certain plant. Loosely put, am I in the zone?
You're in the zone.
Tell me more.
Okay. Well, this is the reason I'm starting with this, because I didn't say this last week on the trivia, because part of this trivia actually goes in with the distillation and the cost of essential oils, because there's such a wide variety of prices in essential oils. And if you're getting a rose oil for like $5, I guarantee you've got like 5 drops of rose in a carrier oil. It's not the pure oil, because rose oil is very, very expensive. I mean, for like a quarter ounce, you could pay $150.
Wow.
Actually, for a quarter ounce more, for 5 mils, you can pay $150.
So, you know what? There's a wake up there, because Steve bought a set of essential oils. They're stamped organic, a relatively well-known company. Seems legit. I'm embarrassed to even say there's, probably 9 different oils in the kit, and I think I paid $35, maybe $40.
Depends on what the oils are, Steve.
Okay, so you're saying that some of them could be fairly potent and pure, if you will, but then some of the other ones probably not so much.
Depends on what the oil is. It all depends on the oil.
All right, you continue. I'm gonna.
Okay. You're gonna sit back and you're gonna wonder about this. Okay.
Yes.
So, did you know that an exotic oil is a very expensive oil because it uses a lot of the plant material to create 1 pound of oil? For example, it takes 50 pounds of eucalyptus to make 1 pound of essential oil.
Wow.
150 pounds to make 1 pound of lavender, 500 pounds of rosemary, and 1,000 pounds of jasmine, and 2,000 pounds for rose.
The rest of us, we would think rose oil, there's tons of them growing out there. What's the big deal? Why is it so difficult to find them, extract that? What's going on?
Well, mainly because where they're extracting the rose is coming from the petal. And because the petal doesn't have a lot of oil in it, it has to be done differently. So like if you take an orange rind, like in the citrus family, all the essential oils are in the rind. So it's really easy to extract that. So most of what they do with the distillation process is they use the steam distillation, where they heat up the material. It goes, as the steam comes up, it goes through a cooling agent, and then what's left is the essential oil. So that's usually what a steam distillation is. Now, a fractional distillation is basically essential oils collected in batches. And Lang Lang is the one that really does this, because that flower produces so much essential oil that you have an extra, you have a 1, 2, and 3. And it's just, my opinion is, at each distraction level, it gets a little bit lighter, so it's not as potent. I don't know if that's true, but it's been my experience when I've done something other than usually by Lang Lang 1. I usually do the first distillation process. So, and I don't know in too many other materials, plant materials, that they use other than Lang Lang on fractional, but that's what they do. So then you have a solvent distillation, which is your jasmines and oak moss, and it's a finer fragrance is what it produces. And it also uses uses volative solvents. It's very gentle on the plant material. It doesn't rearrange the components of the material like steam distillation does, and it extracts the heavier constituents. And but the disadvantage to this is that the non-volative constituents like waxes and dyes are also in the material. So it's not as pure, but you get a better fragrance, you get a stronger, there's other things that are good. So it's all going to be in how you feel about what you're purchasing and how it smells, because it's always about the smell.
Well, yeah, it's about the smell, but you want the real deal. So here we go. I found the kit that I bought, and it was a while ago. Because now that I've met you, I probably wouldn't have bought it, but let's figure this out. It is certified organic. And I'm going to read the fragrances. And can you tell me at $40 for 12, what would be reasonably potent in your estimation, and what would be tons of carrier oil and a drop of fragrance in there? You ready?
I'm ready.
And these are all names that you know. Peppermint. Tell me.
Yep, that's good.
We'll be okay. Lavender.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, I'm on Long Island, New York. We have a lavender farm on the East End. Call it like in the vicinity of the Hamptons. And for fields at the right time of the year, and I'm trying to think of maybe late summer. Oh my gosh, it's all you see. It's breathtaking. And weirdly, when you're hanging out there, there's bees flying all over the place, but you could be alarmed. They don't bother you. They're just doing their thing. Eucalyptus.
Yep.
So you're saying just to make sure.
So far you're good, because these are the less expensive oils so far.
Gotcha. Here's one I wonder about. Tea tree.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Lemongrass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Based on our conversation, orange, check that one off. We're good. Okay. Rosemary.
Uh-huh.
All right. Frankincense.
Mm.
Okay. All right. I'm going to think that lemon is okay.
Yep.
Well, like orange, right? Cinnamon. Yeah, I'm wondering about that one too. Don't they also call it cinnamon cassia or something like that? It's got another name, but it's just, I guess it's just cassia. Thank you. It's probably just cinnamon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not even sure what this is, but I'll throw it out there. Cedarwood.
Yeah.
I'm guessing I don't know where it came
Cedarwood
from.
is good. I use cedarwood a lot, but I'm going back what it cost me.
Uh-huh.
And you're
to come in a kit of 12 with the standard, I don't know how much milliliters are in that little bottle, but that's what it is. So, and then in this kit, pink grapefruit.
Yep, that's good too.
All right. So, but
frankincense is the biggest one I would question, because frankincense is not cheap.
Yeah.
Cedarwood and cinnamon are a little bit on the in between. They're starting to go up more than normal, so I would. But good for you, Steve.
Well, I wouldn't know until I met you. What about the organic aspect of it? So this particular one has something that says USDA organic and also non-GMO verified, vegan, right? Does that sound, I don't need to say the brand name, but does that sound kind of reasonable?
Okay, so let me just go down this road. I'm
Okay.
going to go down this road because this is a high horse road for me.
Mm-hmm.
In the United States is the only place it really makes a big difference. Because if you understand the third world countries that are making essential oils, they do not have the money for organic. Everything they do is organic. These aren't commercial. Most of these plants do not come from commercial organizations in other countries. These are done by local people. So I know in the United States it's a big deal and let's hop on the bandwagon and let the manufacturer pay all this money. I'm sorry, I don't go down that road because I know that my products, because they're coming from, I don't know, Ethiopia, they don't have the money to do things like that. They're not using GMOs. This is my opinion. This is our lovely United States of America and the big companies, the big Fortune 500 companies out there doing what they do.
Mm. What an interesting point here, because when you first started talking about countries, third world countries, I thought you were going to say that they don't have the money to certify it organic, but makes perfect sense. They're not dealing with GMO and all this other crazy. They're just growing this stuff, so it's organic. So they don't have money for all this crazy pesticides, so they can pump out a whole. They're just getting it done. So one would think that
farms. They're not farms.
oh,
Generally.
they're okay. Oh, then what are they?
Well, I was going to talk about Enfrelage, and what I was going to do is this Patrick Susskind wrote this beautiful little story about Enfrelage so you can understand what Enfrelage is. And even though this is a certain type of distillation, it also explains how these third world countries actually work with the plant material. It's a beautiful little story. Jasmine. Season began at the end of July. August was for tuberoses. The perfume of these two flowers was both so exquisite and so fragile that not only did the blossoms have to be picked before sunrise, but they also demanded the most gentle and special handling. Warmth diminished their scent. Suddenly, to plunge them into hot, macerating oil would only completely destroy it. The souls of these noblest of blossoms could not be simply ripped from them. They had to be methodically coaxed away. In a special impregnated room, the flowers were strewn on glass plates, smeared with cool oil, or wrapped in oil-soaked cloths. There they would die slowly in their sleep. It took 3 or 4 days for them to wither and exhale their scent into the adhering oil. Then they were carefully plucked away and new blossoms spread out. This procedure was repeated a good 10 to 20 times, and it was September before the pomade had drunk its fill and the fragrant oil could be pressed from the cloths. The yield was considerably less than with maceration, but in purity it was unequaled. The jasmine oil radiated the sticky, sweet, erotic scent of the blossoms with lifelike fidelity.
Wow.
That's what they do in other countries. They get up before the crack of dawn because the heat always takes the oil back into the plant because the plant needs to survive. And so when it's cool, it's like that's when all the fragrance comes out and that's when they do it. And these flowers are so delicate that they do. And I've seen it where they're laying on vats and they just keep adding more and more and more material to it. That's what they do with rose. That's why rose is so expensive.
Wow. This is busting our perception of how this is all done. Again, there's lots of, rose bushes out there. Come on, fields of them. But when you break it down to the petals, to think that there's only so many petals and there's only so much oil in that petal, it takes so many of them just to, give you a tiny amount. Wow. And then on the reverse of that, oranges, the peel of an orange. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's why it's used in cleaning products as well, because it's so strong and potent. Wow. How interesting. What are some of the countries, just a few top of your head?
God, I get them all over the world. I've got them Ethiopia, Egypt. I've come from Brazil, Africa, France. Our biggest, believe it or not, our largest lavender fields in the country is in Yardley, England, and they own those lavender fields. That's why that's why when we get lavender, we get it elsewhere. but it's not coming from England. I get mine from France. France is a big one. The United States has a lot. We do a lot of our pine oils here. A lot of our citrus oils come from the United States as well.
Hmm. Um, Yardley is a brand name in fragrance, right? I mean, the soaps,
Yeah.
there's tons of stuff made out there. So I recall hearing that many of these plants are cold pressed to retain. Is that really what we're talking about here?
Cold pressed is more with your citrus oils. So
Okay.
like your grapefruits, lemons, limes, they're cold pressed. So they're doing it well because the material is right there. It's like when we, like when we press a lemon to get the lemon juice out, it's the same type of thing. We get the lemon zest. Like if we're going to put lemon zest and use the lemon, we use the rind up into the white part. And that's where you're getting your essential oils and the fragrance, the bulk of the fragrance of the lemons.
We're learning a lot here today. This is, I feel like I'm getting visuals of these different countries, the fields, how they harvest and put this all stuff. What about taking us from the field to the bottle and picking one and the process? Maybe not every single step if that's not easy to do, but can you walk us through that?
Well, the enfilage was basically what it is. You just visualize, these elderly, not necessarily all of them, but I look at it as elderly women that are bent over picking jasmine flowers and putting them in a basket and then walking them to whatever this building is that they have over there. And they lay all the material out. There's a wax that's out on these tables, these plates, and they just keep putting in the material. And then they come out the next day and do the same thing. And they do that for about 2 weeks. Once all the material's done, then they just wash. It's like they remove the plant material, and what's left in the wax is the essential oil. And then they take that and bottle it. Because, we have different viscosities of all the oils. Like some are like water, some are a little thicker, some are really dense. It's not a drop. It's like you actually have to like scoop something out and put it in.
Wow.
Yeah, my first experience was with oak moss. I'm like, what is this? And it's a moss, and it's dark, really dark brown green. And I had to scoop it out. It wasn't like a bottle that I could do. It was really interesting the first time I used oak moss, because that was one of the first things I've learned is the different distillation processes and what that means. So a drop of essential oil of lemon could be like 3 drops compared to, say, what's the patchouli, because of the density of the oil.
So they have this dense muck of whatever, and in some of the plants. What is it carrier oil that's added to it so that it can be pourable in a bottle?
If that's what you want,
Hmm.
but oak moss doesn't come that way. Some of these oils do not come that way. And if you've ever had the patience of sitting here like anytime you want to come out, I've had oils where you just sit there, it's like, hello, and you're tapping the bottle because it's so thick. It teaches you patience.
Wow. And which one is that, the one you just referred to? The moss?
It wasn't oak moss. Oak moss that's the one I had to actually get something to scoop it out. Next week I'm going to bring out a bunch of different oils. I want to show you what oak moss is. I want to show you like the different kinds of things, and I think there's a way I can kind of show that on camera to
Sure.
kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about. But patchouli, I mean, when you age a patchouli, it gets thicker, it smells better, and it's to die for. The older the patchouli gets. But you're just sitting here and you're just like, anytime you want to come out, because it's so thick going through this little tiny dropper. And most of my oils, I don't go through droppers. I did in the beginning. I don't now. I buy the big stuff. And
Wow.
so I actually use test tubes for most of the stuff when I create the formulation. So that's what I do. I mean, that's what I do now.
Would you say patchouli oil, and to my nose, extremely potent. I probably put it up there with one of the most potent. Would you say it's, one of the top five in terms of,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's why you want to, that's why when we talked about the different notes in it, when you're getting into something that heady, you want to make sure that it's like one of the last you do, because I promise you that if you put in one too many drops of that, you will never get the fragrance you want. You always want to put those heavier oils, the base notes, in last, and it's one drop at a time. Because I did that once. I did it, like I said, I did a lot of learning in the beginning. I
Wow.
made a lot of mistakes in the beginning, but it was how I learned. And because essential oils, there wasn't enough information out there yet in the 90s when I did this.
Oof.
I learned by trial and error.
You were essentially blazing some trails here because, now I just go on Amazon and I don't even know what I'm buying. Fortunately, my $40 investment seemed like it was okay. The internet was just barely blossoming back then. You'd be lucky if websites, it was like CNN. There wasn't the, A to Z of aromatherapy website. No, it wasn't even out there yet. So how did you had to do trial and error. That's how you learned.
So I learned. And because when the internet came up, it's like, how the hell do you sell aromatherapy on an internet? I did not know how to sell it, because what sells it is your nose. The minute you go,
Yeah.
gotta have it. It's that type of thing. But when you can't sell it, and so when I did more research on how do you sell this, what did they say? It was like in the wine industry. You had to really describe the wine, because people didn't know how to buy wine based on, if you don't taste it, how do you know if you like it? So you had to get very colorful, describe some of the ingredients, and then how it blended together. Because
Mm.
wine is a bouquet. Essential oil blends are bouquets. And you have to describe that.
Mm. Wow. And then the description is subjectionable. Personally, patchouli, not my thing. And I think I shared with you somebody I graduated high school with. My friends and I, we run into her from time to time. Could be watching a band somewhere, whatever it might be. We know she's there. We don't see her, but we know she's there. I'm not even, you think I'm kidding. I'm not. It's like, yeah, Peggy's here somewhere. Have you seen her? No, but I smell her. She's around here somewhere. And not that I don't like it, but it's just very strong for me. It just, I don't know.
Remember you by your smell.
Well, that for her, for sure. Yeah.
Because you remember her. You may forget her name, but you will remember her because of how she smells.
It's a signature smell, and
Yeah.
nobody else, has that. I don't know if, would you, final thought here, I know I'm digression, but would you take that fragrance and then temper it with another one
I
to
would.
take the edge off?
Yeah. Orange is really good for helping to neutralize patchouli a little bit, because it kind of lightens it up a little.
What is, I missed that. What is?
Orange. Orange
Oh,
with patchouli is going to lift patchouli up. It's going to give it more of a lighter flavor scent to it.
oh my gosh, I would have never thought that. I would think it was just the opposite, because orange is so potent that I would think that would
But
be.
it's light. It's happy. It's a happier oil. It's not so grounding.
Yes, I get that. I get that. Well, and lemon, would you say that's lighter too?
It is lighter. I don't know if I would like it with patchouli. I don't know if that would go. I'd have to almost put the two smells together to see if it would work.
And I wasn't even suggesting that. I'm just saying in terms of just because I get patchouli oil is earthy, has that grounded kind of vibe where now I see what you're saying. Orange is lighter. It's potent, but it has a lighter vibe to it. So I get that.
And you could probably try like eucalyptus or tea tree, something like that, might help it too, because what you're trying to do is get rid of the heavy density of patchouli, that very grounding, woodsy smell.
Yes.
And if you want it to lift up a little bit, because for me, I want the oils to lift me up when I smell it. And it's okay if I go back into grounding. It's just, I want to be able to like not just be so, oh, like I love patchouli, but that doesn't mean I want to wear patchouli.
Right. Right. It's
I
almost
want
as
patchouli just a little bit.
it's almost as if you want to be able to run and fly at the same time.
Yes.
But if it's just patchouli, you're running, you're grounded, you're not
Yeah.
taking off at all.
Right.
Fantastic learning about this. Like so cool. Like your wealth of knowledge just runs deep. And again, like you said, trial and error. When you started, there was really nothing out there. And not a lot of people were into it back then. Now, game changer, totally different. Kathleen, how do we find you? I know that you have lots of products. You can consult. You can make formulations for people. How do we connect with you?
You can get a hold of me through awakeningspirit.com. And my email is kmf@KathleenAwakeningspirit.com.
Love the name of that, by the way.
Thank you.
It says everything.
Well, and it came to me in 90. I was living in Nevada at the time. It was 80, 89. It came to me. And Spirit said, it's awakening what? And then he said, it's Spirit. And people thought it was the weirdest name back in the 80s and early 90s. And now it was like, where did you get that name? I said, it was given to me, but it's what I do. It's who I am. Everything I do is about waking up your spirit.
Yep.
And so this was part of that. And then watching when I got into aromatherapy, how everybody was waking up, like they were listening to their body. They're happy, like whatever downtrodden things were going on with them was gone, because there was something about what essential oils did. And again, learning, because there was nothing out there to teach us this. I'm just watching through observation.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got to imagine locking down that domain, awakeningspirit.com, was way back, because if you try to get it now, somebody would have taken it.
No, you can't get it. And I started trademarking on it as well years ago. And I was out there, and it's mine. Nobody can ever take it away, because I've had it since the 80s.
Yeah. Good for you. Thank you so much for today. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Looking forward next time we get together. Maybe we'll do a show and tell, if you will.
Okay.
Excellent. Thanks.
All right.
We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.